So for the first time in the history of the United States, a former president facing criminal charges, with closing arguments expected to start on Tuesday in the New York criminal trial against former President Donald Trump. Voters all over the nation speaking out against the weaponization of our criminal justice system, even at Trump's rally in the Bronx last night. Here's former New York City Councilman and State Senator Ruben Diaz criticizing Judge Juan Merchan's conduct. Watch.
As a Puerto Rican, as a Hispanic, I want to apologize to you for the conduct of Judge Juan Merchan. As a Hispanic, I want to apologize.
Thank you. Thank you.
He's being used. He has been used to destroy you.
Joining me now is Donald Trump's attorney, Alina Habba. I know there's a gag order out there, Alina, so I don't want to get you in trouble. But just generally speaking, the fact that so many Americans now are up in arms, and not typical Republicans or typical Trump supporters, it is the use of the law as a political weapon that is turning them into Trump supporters, don't you think?
100%. I think that's exactly what's happening, David. We have people that were undecided. We have a lot of Biden voters, frankly. If you look at what they're saying, even on CNN, they can't deny it. We have Biden voters that are flipping because they're looking at what has happened in their personal life. They're looking at what has happened with the weaponization of the justice system. And as President Trump always says, I'm just in the way. They are coming after all of us. You know, this is not our America. And I think people miss America. We don't want to be a third world country or in a banana republic. And if you take a look around at what happened in the Bronx last night, those people, many of them were not Trump voters. They were not even Republicans, never mind Trump voters. And now they're flipping. And that's because it has become so obvious that the Democrat Party is using dirty tactics against a former president and likely the future president.
Well, it's so obvious when you look at the case in New York, the Bragg case in New York, and particularly when you see the way the law has been turned around, spun around like it's like a pretzel. They twist it so much in order to turn one expired misdemeanor into 34 felonies. And we still don't know what that felony charge is.
Yeah, the basis is completely ridiculous and unknown. They're taking something, frankly, that I believe one of the witnesses pled guilty to, not the president. There's been no FEC violation. There's been no violation of campaign contributions by President Trump. But they're trying to act like it's now illegal for you to pay an attorney's bill. And he was in the White House while this bill was paid. The bill was paid by the Trump Organization accounting department. And guess what? They got a legal bill and they paid it and booked it as a legal fee. My goodness, how could that be wrong? But now a former president and the leading candidate is going to go to jail, allegedly, for that? It's desperate. Not only is it desperate, they denied bringing it twice, not once. Cy Vance didn't want to bring it. Bragg didn't want to bring it until President Trump announced he was running.
By the way, how long does an appeal take? Because if in fact, the jury comes out with a guilty verdict, obviously you're going to appeal. There's so many grounds for it. The jury instructions allowing Michael Cohen, a convicted liar and an admitted thief, allowing him to instruct the jury about election law rather than getting a real expert like the former head of the FEC in there. There's so many areas that you could appeal this, but won't that take a long time? Couldn't he actually be sent to jail before that happens?
Yes, in a worst case scenario, absolutely. The appellate division, it's backed up. New York courts in general are backed up. Unless you're Donald Trump, they tend to speed them up. But no, appellate division takes a while. We have a lot of cases right now for the president that are pending appeal, as you've seen. We have Supreme Court cases that are pending. And that's detrimental because in a criminal proceeding, they don't just let you walk around. If you have a conviction, they'll sentence you and then you wait. It's really problematic. And don't think it's not by design.
Absolutely. Very quickly, Alina, we're out of time, but you've been around, you look very young, but you've been around long enough to really experience the law and all of its machinations. Did you ever think that you would see the law used this way? And are you pessimistic about whether we can turn this around?
I'm not pessimistic as long as President Trump wins, as long as we get the current regime, and I call it a regime because it is what it is, as long as we get them out. And yes, I've been practicing 15 years, and I have never seen anything like this in my life. I practiced in multiple states, never seen anything like this in my life. So if we don't turn this around in November, Dave, we're in trouble.
Alina Habba, I hope we're not in trouble. Thank you very much for being here, Alina. Appreciate it. Have a good weekend.
Thank you.